Guys, I'm back. I'm hoping you had so much fun with Fesh Fit, and I'm here for this Friday's episode of Inside Irish Dancing. We have a super, super special guest today, so I can't wait for you to hear all about her. And if you weren't on here earlier, I just wanted to say I hope all of you had a fabulous St. Patrick's Day. I know it looked different for every single person, but, I hope that everyone made the most of it. So let me add my guest to the live. Okay, let's see. Should work. And as I said earlier, everyone in the comments, feel free to leave how your St. Patrick's Day was. Hi!
Hi.
I am here with the amazing Ella Chillog. You can take a minute to introduce yourself if you would like.
Okay, so I'm Ella Chillog, and I dance at the Academy Irish Dance Company in Columbus, Ohio. I'm a national champion, two-time Mid-Oireachtas champion, ninth in the world, and I've been on 8 world-winning teams. So it's a little
Wow.
yeah.
That is insane. Like to have all of that achieved and you still have so much of a dance career ahead of you, is so amazing.
hmm
So my
Yeah,
first question for you
it's
is,
amazing.
how are you doing right now with the pandemic and balance your life?
Um, so at least where I am right now, life's kind of somewhat what we like to call back to normal. I'm like back to school and I'm able to be in the dance studio, our dance studio through Ed and Byron, my teachers. They were able to do it safely and like when it was allowed by when it was all announced, like we can go back to doing sports and stuff like that. And there's more feshes opening up and like nationals is happening, which is so exciting to me. So it's, I think, slowly getting back to normal, and I'm able to kind of find that balance again of what life was like before the quarantine and lockdown and everything.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know down here in Florida we're open as well, so it's kind of the same vibe. But I mean, it's so crazy that so many aren't. I mean, we're so fortunate to have this upcoming U.S. Nationals, and so are the Canadians. So it's so great that that stuff's happening. With that, throwback to the, pre-pandemic life. I mean,
Yeah.
how did it feel to win nationals?
It felt absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud to say that I'm a national champion because I actually had never won in Oireachtas before. I'd never won any title. It was like my first major title. So I'm just like so proud of it, and it like every day I'm just beyond grateful. I see my sash and my plaque in my room like every day when I wake up, and it's just like I see it and I'm just so proud of like what I've accomplished and everything. So yeah.
That's amazing. So, I mean, I could assume for this next question, I could assume your answer, but what has been your biggest accomplishment so far?
Yeah, so it was definitely winning nationals because it was my first like major win, and I at the Worlds right before it. So I did have the confidence in me like, all right, Ella, like let's go, let's get this, like let's chase your goal. Like that's been my goal for the longest time. But I also think what a lot of people don't know is that I consider honestly one of my biggest accomplishments is my first Oireachtas win in I think 2019 it was. Um, I had actually like injured myself during my slip jig. I went to the doctors afterwards and I had like torn ligaments and all this stuff. Like it was just a big thing. And so I think what makes that my biggest accomplishment is that, I went a lot, like I went through a lot that day. I had fallen and twisted my ankle in my slip jig, and a part of me was just like in so much pain. There was talk about me like pulling out, not finishing, but I think I bring that back to my biggest accomplishment because I was able to find that drive in me, and I finish off stronger than I've like ever felt. I've never felt more confident in a set dance like that before. So I think that's like one of my personal biggest things, like seeing mentally how I changed and wanting to like keep going, keep competing, and like kind of make all the hard work pay off. So
And I think it's so important because you described that drive. I mean, that's what makes you a champion. A
Yeah.
title makes you a champion, but that drive and that, motivation when, everything may be looking amazing. So I think that I'm so sorry. Hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I just want to make sure it was frozen for a second.
You're breaking up a
Um,
little bit.
okay. Let me try one thing.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you way better now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Let me know at any point if it goes out. Um,
Okay.
so to contrast that, what has been a difficult moment for you so far?
I think the most recent was the first time Worlds was getting canceled when all the COVID and quarantine lockdown first came because I was just getting back from my injury. I had pushed super hard like through PT and everything because I wanted to go to Worlds. I wanted to see through all the hard work that I'd put in before a rock disc and like
Yeah.
getting back into dancing, like what I could achieve. And
Yeah.
so I think that getting canceled was like it really affected me. And I was also training for 6 teams. And so I was doing all this extra practice for that. We were
Wow.
all so excited to perform them, like our figures and everything. Everyone was so excited. So I think it was just a little bit of like disappointment that all that time and everything and it all just got taken away like in a week. Everything happened in like a week. So I think
Yeah.
that would definitely be the most difficult for me.
Yeah. And I mean, and that was such saddening news for everyone. And I mean,
Yeah.
again, this year. But hopefully, the world starts going in a better direction.
Yeah,
And
that's why I think I'm so excited for nationals because like the
yeah.
buzz round, it's like I know some people had Rocktises, we did, but nationals like a ton of people just come together for it. So I think I'm just super excited for it.
Yes, me too. I think it's going to be amazing. So to stay on the COVID topic, what do you feel like has improved in your dancing because of the pandemic?
Um, I mean, we've all kind of said like the technique, the turnout, like all the small things because of a lot of people aren't allowed back in the studio and you can't move around at home that much. At least I know a lot of dance studios aren't that big at home. So it's a lot of focusing on the little things. But I think one thing I've noticed is like mentally, I would say that what has helped in my dancing is like pushing towards the next fesh because for a long time we didn't have any. So I think having that constant want for a fesh has helped my dancing more than I think I realized. Like just wanting to get better so bad for the next competition to be the best that I can be.
Yes, that's amazing. So this next question you can answer any way you want.
Okay.
But who are some of your biggest inspirations? It can be a dancer, just a person in your life, a celebrity, whoever you want.
Okay, so I mean, dance wise, I think I've grown up dancing like from kindergarten to now junior in high school. So I've seen everyone, I've watched everyone on Instagram, all that stuff. But I think recently, I would just say the dancers like in my class and my teachers have just been my biggest inspirations, at least this year. Seeing people like Lucky or Emily Kane, like seeing, those are people with big titles and just seeing how hard they work and how hard my dance teachers work with them and, making sure that we're still following COVID like protocols, but still being in that type of dance that we were 2 years ago or like a year and a half ago. You know what I mean? So I just think people in my class, like, um, it just helps me be the better person and help me be a better dancer because it just inspires me to work harder and like I have someone to kind of compete against in class. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yes.
always good to have a little competition. So I think having people that are amazing dancers with me every day in class is just I think what inspires me the most.
That is so amazing. And I mean, having those people, it probably makes you realize, as you said, every single day, like, oh my gosh, like I want to like do this. And like you're
Yeah.
right up there with all of those names that you said, but like in your own head, it, kind of gives you a chance to humble down and really push and work, towards what you want to fix. So I think that
Yeah.
is so amazing. And I think it's so amazing that you have those people
Yeah.
in your studio.
I'm beyond grateful for that. And like I have so many people in my own like age group. Katie and Evan, they're amazing dancers as well. And just having that competition, it's just something that I hope everyone has out there in their dance class, or like I wish they had, because it's
Hmm.
just something that you don't realize that helps you so much.
Yes, totally. Okay, so now kind of back to the competition track. What
Yeah.
are some of the goals that you're currently working towards?
So I would love to defend my title at nationals again, and that's just something I'm gonna have to work crazy hard for, because there's like so much buzz around it, and I know everyone's working as hard as me and others. So I just think that's like kind of my goal. I mean, I would have a goal for Worlds, but as we both know, that was sadly canceled. So I just think kind of my goals are just being the better like dancer, like that I know I can be, like trying hard in class, doing my best at small feshes, and just hoping to be able to defend that title. But yeah.
Yes, well, I hope you can. I bet you can. Um, and I'll watch you do it at the U.S. Nationals. It just sounds
Yeah.
crazy to say that we're having a nationals. I mean, it's so amazing. I can't even get off that track. But so because of COVID-19, a lot of people have started to talk about mental health and how important it
Yeah.
is to them, because when it comes down to it, being competitive in Irish dancing, it can be almost fully mental.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of people struggle with it in different areas. Do you have any advice for those people struggling right now? And then how important do you think it is?
Let's start off. I think it's so important. Like, I don't think many people realize how big mental health is in Irish dance, because this sport is nonstop. There's no breaks. Like, there's no off season or anything. So I think your mental health has to be as strong as you can make it. Like, because as dancers, at least in my experience, you have to give up so much, just to do the sport. So you have to be mentally strong enough to keep going. So my advice for others is like kind of know that you're not alone. Like, I still get so nervous for a competition. You're backstage, you're all like nervous, you're sweating, like, like you're not alone on that. And especially during this time, I think you kind of have to get out of your comfort zone and reach out to another Irish dancer. Like, I have had a couple people reach out to me. One girl just reached out to me from Mexico, and I love helping them. Like, I just love helping people, because I'm sure like I've gone through my own mental health struggles like through Irish dance. So I just want to be able to be there to like help others, and just know that you're not alone in this. Like, the Irish dance world is so big. So just, reach out, find someone that you can find comfort in, even if that's like your dance teachers. Your dance teachers want to be there for you all the time, and they are with you all the time in class. So like they know what's going on, and they've all been there. So I just think reaching out, as hard as that may seem, and it's way easier to say than done, but yeah.
Yes, no, and I think everyone listening, like, really take that to heart. If anyone is feeling at any moment like that they're just feeling really down, or just, really struggling, as she said, a dance teacher, a friend, someone who you look up to, message, and kind of just, you don't have to tell them details, but ask for help. And I think that's so important. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah. Of course.
I think that is so relevant to where we are today with Irish dancing.
Yeah.
So everyone listen to that and take that advice and use it, please. Um, so obviously there are some people still in lockdown right
Yeah.
now. Um, and that's really difficult for those people. What is your advice for them to, stay successful for when lockdown's over?
Okay, so I think one thing that I did while, at least in my area, we were in like full lockdown, stay at home order type of thing, is I set a challenge at the start of quarantine, which was see how many days I can work out in a row. Even if that's not dancing, but if that's just simply like looking up an online yoga class, you know, anything that'll help you become the better dancer. I think the setting a challenge as an Irish dancer, you know, we're always working towards something. So I think if you set a challenge of dance every day or work out every day or, you know, stretch every day, I think it will help people a lot with pushing through quarantine, you know, until they can get out and compete. I just think setting a small challenge like that every day is just something that will help you maybe not be so like down in the dumps about being stuck at home practicing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so important. And I know hopefully overseas people will be, back competing soon.
Yeah.
But until then, that is fabulous advice for all for, either them or people who are just choosing to, stay careful here in the States.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously Irish dancing, we have to focus on ourselves like as a dancer, but a support system is extremely important. You can have your dance teachers, friends, it can be anyone. Who is your support system, and what does having a support system, mean to you? And do you attribute that to part of your success?
So 100%. Like I wouldn't be the dancer I am today without like my support system, which I would say is like my dance friends, my family, and most importantly, my dance teachers. I think like honestly, deep down, number one, yes, your parents like pay for everything, you know, they help get you there. And I'm forever grateful for everything that they've done for me. But I think my number one, like every day to day support system has to be my dance teachers. And I think that's so important because, you know, your support system, they see you when you're at your best. They see you when you're down in the dumps, you know, you're not dancing your best, and they know how to get you back to where you need to be, which is why I think Ed and Byron are like my number one like support system because, you know, they know when to push me, they know when to, you know, like lay up on me, and they know how to make me be the best dancer that they know I can be. So, you know, they just push you in for your own good type of thing. So that's why I think your support system is just so important in Irish dancing because they know when to work you and when to push you and everything.
That is amazing. And I think teachers are so important because, they have an insight that maybe friends or parents don't have.
Yeah.
And that help and assistance, as you described, can just be so beneficial to the dancer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's absolutely amazing. So kind of going back to the competition questions, obviously, you have all these amazing titles under your belt.
Yeah.
So this question may even stress you out a little bit, but how do you stay there? And how do you manage that?
Yeah. So I think, you know, as I know many other dancers, you have to have a balance within your life of dance, school, or like if you're in school or work, you know, whatever you're doing, and like just having your own time, your time to relax, your time to like recuperate yourself, you know. So I think to keep me at the top is I've learned how to balance all of that. You know, I've learned when I'm totally past my limit, you know, I'm feeling overworked, like when just to take that day off. And I think that's super important to be at the top of your competition. You know, a lot of people think it's nonstop practicing and, you know, you'll get there one day. But a lot of the times you need to give yourself a rest, you know. But I think like small little things are like, I'm at, you know, I go to dance class, I practice, I do, for a while I did hot yoga before quarantine. And I think I noticed so much change in my flexibility. Like,
Wow.
yeah. And I just even think doing a regular yoga class at home or stuff like that, or just, you know, looking up certain stretches to do, I think that helps because flexibility is a huge thing of Irish dance, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and just being confident is number one. I think being top, like, you know, even if you're nervous, you can't show them, you know, put the smile on, do what you know what to do. And I think it helped me a lot get to where I am. And I think it would help others.
Thank you so much for that answer. I mean, I think honestly, that is the best answer for that question that we've had so far.
Okay.
And I know that so many people who are up there or who are even aspiring to be up there, the thought of that stresses them out. For you to describe, it's not about staying up there, it's about working and staying your best and staying
Yeah.
confident and doing all these steps is so incredibly important, especially because that ties back into the whole mental health thing.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and yeah, so that's just amazing. And okay, I have our last question.
Okay.
Um, so obviously Irish dancing is so different than any other sport. We're in such
Yeah.
a unique little world. What do you think of the Irish dancing world is so special?
So yeah, kind of to touch on what you said, like we're kind of in our own little world. That's what I think is like so special about dancing is that like we're not some humongous like baseballs everywhere, you know what I mean? But like we're all located everywhere around the world, but like yet I think we all kind of have this like little family type of feeling. And I think I really realized that over quarantine, and I think that's why I love this sport so much is because I think, a lot of us were spread out everywhere, but we're able to come together like 3, 4 times a year, and just kind of like show off. So I think that's like what's so special. And it's such a different like sport. Like you rarely hear people like Irish dancing. You know what I mean? So I think it's just so special that it's kind of always like special to us. Like we're always different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think also our connection to social media, like stuff like this, like I think Irish dance is also really centered on social media because we're so spread out. We don't see each other all the
Mhm.
time. So I just think stuff like this that we're able to do, like chats or posting videos of people, I just think that's what makes it so special because we all like cherish those like little 15-second clips. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's so special. But
Yes. Thank you so much for
yeah.
taking your time to do this interview with me today. I'm so sorry for our technical difficulty
Oh,
earlier.
it's totally
Um,
fine.
but thank you so much, everyone watching. Please take Ella's advice. You can tell she is at the top of her competition, and her advice is for you to put into action. So, again, I hope everyone enjoyed. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a fabulous Friday.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.